5 Facts About Sortacasual, Part 4. I have been daily uploading for 243 days, marking the approximate 2/3 point of this challenge. I'm not pretty deep into it, and what I've learned and decided is that daily uploading will not be something that I ever do again after this year is over. I remember naively thinking near the beginning of this year that I would possibly continue this challenge, even after the fact, just see how many days I can rack up. Nah, I'm good. Never doing this again. It is creatively draining and extremely time consuming when I have too many other things going on in my life, but it's been an interesting challenge and really does help me test my limits and help me push myself more in a lot of different ways. So I guess it's been a good thing, but definitely never again. This is probably going to be the hardest semester of college that I ever experienced, and not just because of the college aspect of it. I am taking a math functions class and a managerial accounting class, two courses that I am not very compatible with as far as my natural skill set goes, while also working in retail during the holiday/Christmas season. So this is probably going to be the most difficult time for me in school. However, if I can get over this hurdle and pass these classes, which by the way I'm going for passing, not for excelling, I should basically be guaranteed a bachelor's degree. Because although I won't have finished all my other classes yet, the only other difficult class I foresee is my financial accounting class, so we're just going to have to hope that I can get through the semester. The next few months will be very telling in how far I go in life. I've considered quitting the daily upload challenge several times this year so far, but I think the strongest inclination was last week, whenever I realized how heavy my workload was going to be for college this year and realizing that I really couldn't afford to not also be working. Right now, it's kind of coming down to knowing that I have to make a sacrifice somewhere, and there are things that I'm trying to do to accommodate my lifestyle. The problem is that my job is contracted as a full-time position. I am not allowed to work part-time. I can't really drop any classes and still maintain the schedule that I need to be graduated by the time I'm around 25. I could reduce one day spending with my girlfriend out of the 2 days that we do, but it's only going to save me a few hours, and it's going to, I think, cause more harm than benefit for me, so I don't think that's worthwhile. And then it just leaves this, the recreational YouTube channel that doesn't, get a whole lot of outreach and views and probably isn't building towards anything. But none of the things that I have going on in my life currently are things that I want to quit. Thankfully, right now, volleyball is actually on a hiatus because the place that we normally play at is closed down for a little bit, just like for a few weeks, maybe just only a week or two. It doesn't matter. So that's giving me a little bit more extra time. But whenever that opens up again, I'm not going to want to just quit playing volleyball. It's all really difficult trying to allocate time properly, and I think one of the biggest hurdles that I'm facing is that I need a lot of recharge time because of how exhausted I get from talking to people. But that recharge time while trying to work on homework means that I'm very not effective during homework. So there's just a lot. I'm already extremely jaded by working in retail. It's been a little bit over 6 months now. I've very much enjoyed not working in the toxic environment of my previous job, even though I did enjoy the work by a pretty good margin. When I originally went into retail, I had thought that it would be a more positive working experience. I would be working with people who are on average more adult-like. They were getting paid more on average, so I figured that there'd be less complaints about that. And I figured that just like with the fast food industry, I still would have pretty limited discussions and conversations with retail customers. I also thought that I would have more management responsibilities, and all of my assumptions kind of went out the window. I recently had an employee threaten to kick my ass. She later ended up quitting instead of opting to get fired. I've had very many customers curse me out and be very aggressive towards me. I really don't have a whole lot of manager responsibilities other than making sure that the tasks get done on time during my shifts, which a monkey could do. So it's just been different. I'm getting paid more, and I'm working in industry that will pay me more on average, but it feels as though either I'm in the wrong company or I'm in the wrong industry, and I won't know which one's which until I leave. And it just really sucks because I want to make it a year so that way it can look better on a resume, and I know that if I quit now and take a part-time job, even in a management role, it's going to look worse for me, and I'm just trying to figure out what the best decision is for that. But yeah, I'm pretty jaded towards the retail industry at the moment. Right now I'm struggling with something called the sunk cost fallacy, but not in more ways than just one. Just to review, for those of you who may not know, the sunk cost fallacy is the idea is that because you put so much into something, even if it's not working out or even if it's not going to be worth finishing, you still decide to finish it. An example of this might be in gambling. if you keep betting on red on a roulette table over and over again, you keep going over and over because you think, well, eventually it has to hit red statistically, right? But you're hitting this on cost fallacy because you put so much money into this. You want to keep putting money into until you get all that money back, and then eventually you just run out of money completely instead of pulling out and still having some money left over. And I'm experiencing that in really two different ways, and I've already kind of mentioned this in the video. Sunk cost fallacy number one, wanting to continue the daily challenge, even though I'm not deriving a whole lot of joy out of it. I'm really not enjoying myself, not having the best time, which I'm sure has been reflecting in this video, and also in previous videos. And me not wanting to quit is basically knowing that if I tried to do this challenge again in the future, I don't think I would get as far as I have now. So to me, it feels like it makes more sense just to write out the last 4 months. And then the other sunk cost fallacy is probably the bigger hurdle for me is college. And maybe it's because I am intimidated by my lack of skill when it comes to math and I just want to quit before I fail. But it feels frustrating knowing that I could be saving thousands of dollars right now not going to college and a whole lot of stress and anguish by not having to take classes that I hate for a degree that I might not even end up using a whole lot because I might get jobs that don't require having a bachelor's degree, or I might end up going more the entrepreneurship route, not even needing a degree to begin with. And I'm not sure how much the education that I'm getting from college is unique to college that I couldn't just get by trial and error or reading books or finding a mentor. So I'm sticking with college for now, but like the longer that I'm going into and the more money I put into it, the more it feels like I can't stop. So that's been something that's been weighing on my mind recently. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a like. If you want to see more videos, go ahead and subscribe. I'd appreciate any suggestions for videos down in the comments below. It would help me out a lot. Do not forget to keep it casual.